Should any single family have this much power? Asks Brian Stelter on CNN. I stumbled upon this guy's high almighty rant about how Rupert Murdoch and his conglomerate have too much influence on the news that we consume and how they aren't held accountable. I'm just going to play a little bit of this and then comment afterwards.
In news, in politics, in pop culture, all roads lead back to the Murdochs. But rarely does anyone take a step back and make the necessary connections involving this media empire. Maybe that's because the two men are actually rarely heard from. Father Rupert presides over all the Murdoch empire's media assets, from the Wall Street Journal to the Sun to Fox News, etc. One of his sons, Lachlan, runs Fox Corporation. That is the company that actually oversees Fox News. So they wield enormous power, but they almost never talk about it in public. They never come face to face with any form of accountability. They stay behind the scenes, and maybe that's by design.
So accountability. Fact one, accountability comes when you have to answer to people. Let's take a look at Fox News for a second. Here's one of the stories that they're running today. And what do we see down here but comments, conversation? That's right. People can chime in on the discussion, giving accountability to the journalism. But you don't see that over at CNN. They have plenty of articles. No comments. The same network having you believe that Fox is the bad guy here doesn't employ any means of talking back to the reporter, to the media, to the people serving you these stories. Now, fact number two. He's claiming that too much power is held by Murdoch and his family. That is true, but it's not the whole story. CNN is owned by Ted Turner, who also has a pretty big conglomerate himself. Headline News, TNT, TBS, multiple website publications. Brian, you're working for someone who does the same thing as Murdoch, but no criticism to your boss. Now, whether you like Fox, CNN, MSNBC, or whatever, that's fine. I'm indifferent to them all. They're all serving an agenda, a narrative, and they want us to consume it. When we sit by passively and digest it, we just become cogs in their machine. I'll give Fox a little unsung credit that they still have comments on their website. It makes their stories a little less one-sided, but they're all essentially guilty of doing the same thing, pushing their own narrative. And that's why I created Blarify. This allows people to restore some accountability to these publishers, CNN being one of the most egregious offenders out there. So if you agree, try out Blarify. The Chrome extension over there on the left of the screen will allow you to join in the conversation on websites like CNN and Yahoo, and there's going to be more websites to come in the near future. But for now, let's get this discussion going. Catch you later, hopefully on Blarify.